Yeah, I get it. You're sick of hearing the same garbage. Start dropshipping, join an Amazon affiliate program, pick up some side hustles, and you'll be rich. But let's be real, these are all a lie. Not only do these hustles fail to make you rich, they actually trap you. And the only people making real money off them are the ones selling you the courses. Sure, once upon a time, these hustles did work. If you jumped into dropshipping a decade ago, you could cash in. Or if you built an Amazon affiliate site in the 2010s, maybe you struck gold. But timing is everything. Today, these doors are slammed shut. The market is flooded, competition is brutal, and profit margins have been squeezed down to nothing. What looks like opportunity is really just a hamster wheel dressed up as freedom. And that's exactly why this video isn't about stacking more side hustles. It's about what actually builds freedom, a main hustle. One that scales, one that creates leverage, and one that makes your time worth more than just the hours you put in. Because if you keep chasing side hustles without leverage, you'll wake up 10 years from now with the same problem you have today, just more tired. So before you waste another year chasing scraps, let's break down the 4 Fastlane principles that move you from a side hustle to main hustle. And hey, if you're new here, I'm Zain, the psychologist on money. Every week, I break down the psychology behind wealth and business success. So if you're ready to stop playing small, hit subscribe and let's get wealthy together. Principle number 1 is going from slow lane to fast lane. Have you ever noticed how people can work for decades and somehow end up in the same place they started? Same job, same stress, same bills. It's like they've been driving in circles their whole life. Take Mike for example. He graduated, got a decent job, and every 2 weeks his paycheck comes in. But just as money comes in, it goes out. Rent, car payments, nights out. He wasn't broke, but he wasn't moving anywhere either. That's the first trap. Living paycheck to paycheck, thinking tomorrow will somehow be different. Then there's Sarah. She did what society told her, save some money, put some money in 401k, and wait 40 years. On paper, it looks smart, but here's the reality. She's giving up the best years of her life, working long hours now for the promise of maybe retiring at 65. Who even knows that they're going to be alive at 65? That is a second trap. And side hustles, most people think they're the way out, but in reality, they're just stressed out version of the same problem. More hours, more grind, still chained to the clock. So if paycheck cycle doesn't work and the retirement plan is a slow bleed and side hustles only keep you busy, what's left? That's where Fastlane comes in. It isn't about grinding longer hours or squeezing every drop of energy out of yourself. It's about switching vehicles entirely. Because no matter how hard you push a bicycle, it will never outrun a sport car. The fast lane is that sport car. Instead of trading hours for scraps, you create something that has leverage, a business, a system, an asset that solves real problems and continues to grow even when you are not there. It's the difference between being stuck in traffic and building the road others drive on. This is a lane where wealth accelerates, where your impact compounds, your income multiplies, and your time finally starts working for you instead of against you. It's where life stops being a repetitive loop of work, pay bills, and starts becoming a journey forward. Once you see the lane you're driving in, you'll notice something even bigger, that not all vehicles are built to take you very far. Now, principle number 2 is the law of affection. Why is it that some people work just as hard as you but end up 10 times richer? It's not luck, it's not hours, it's something else entirely. Picture Emma. She clocks 40 hours a week at her retail job, then picks up a weekend shift just to keep up with the bills. Every extra shift means a little bit more money, but it's still dollar for hour. The harder she works, the more exhausted she gets, yet her income never truly grows. Why? Because Emma's money is chained to her time and her time is limited. Now picture someone who built a small online course teaching photography. At first, only a handful students sign up, but then hundreds join, then thousands. The crazy part is she didn't have to work more hours, the course scaled on its own. Her impact grew and so did her income. 2 people both working hard, one is stuck trading minutes for dollars, the other built something that multiplied her effort 1,000 times over. Why the difference? That is DeMarco's law of affection. The more lives you impact, the more wealth you create. It is not about how hard you work or even how smart you are. It is about scales of impact. Hustles that only serve a handful of people always stay small, no matter how much effort you pour in. You might make a living, but you'll never build lasting wealth. Think about it. A local tutor can only teach a dozen kids in a week, but the person who builds an online platform can teach millions. A cafe owner can only serve a few hundred customers a day, but the entrepreneur who designs a coffee subscription service can serve tens of thousands without pouring a single cup themselves. That is the difference affection action makes. When you build something that touches thousands or even millions, your income doesn't just grow, it skyrockets. The truth is simple: impact equals income. If you want to make more money, stop chasing jobs and side hustles that only serve a few and start building systems, businesses, and solutions that serve many. But impact alone won't protect you, because what happens if the vehicle you're riding in suddenly changes directions? Now, principle number 3 is drivers versus hitchhikers. Ever feel like no matter how hard you work, someone else is secretly holding the steering wheel of your life? Take someone who drives Uber every weekend, picking up rides back to back. But one morning, the app changes its pay rates. Overnight, his earnings drop by 30%. He didn't do anything wrong, the rules just changed. Or look at Maya, an Etsy seller. Her handmade jewelry was finally gaining traction until the algorithm shifted. Suddenly, her shop disappeared from search. Sales went from hundreds a week to almost nothing. Both of these people thought they were building income streams, but in reality, they were just passengers or hitchhikers in someone else's car. The moment the driver decides to turn, their rides end. Hitchhikers might get somewhere, but only if someone else decides to pick them up. They depend on someone else's vehicle, someone else's gas, and someone else's rules. At first, it feels safe. You're along for the ride. You don't have to steer. And as long as things are smooth, you're moving forward. But the moment the driver changes directions, slows down, or kicks you out, you are stranded. Hitchhikers are powerless because their future is tied to someone else's choices. That's what happens when you rely only on an employer, a single client, or a platform that can change the algorithm overnight. Drivers, on the other hand, own the vehicle. They grip the wheel, they decide the route, the speed, the stops, and the destination. They carry risk, sure, but they also carry control. If a road is blocked, they can find another. If they want to accelerate, they press the pedal, and most importantly, no one can kick them out of their own car. So ask yourself, are you standing on the side of the road with your thumbs up, hoping someone else takes you where you want to go? Or are you gripping the wheel of your own vehicle, charting your own path, and choosing exactly where your life is headed? And this leads to the final principle, the most important of them all. Why is it that some people spend their whole lives grinding while others build empires that outlast them? DeMarco tells the story of two men, each challenged to build a pyramid. The first man grabs stones and mortars and starts stacking with his own bare hands. He works furiously, lifting, carrying, and sweating. Progress is slow, exhausting, and every brick requires his muscles. If he stops working, construction stops. The second man takes a different path. Instead of rushing to lay bricks, he invents levers, pulleys, and ramps. His progress seems slow at first. He spends time designing, not stacking, but soon his system allows him to move massive stones effortlessly. His pyramid rises faster, taller, and stronger, while the first man is still breaking his back on the ground. Both men are working hard, but only one is building smart. The brick carrier ties wealth directly to his own labor, while the system builder detaches effort from time, and that's where leverage comes from. That's DeMarco's point. Wealth isn't built by how hard you stack bricks, it's built by the systems you design. Jobs and side hustles, that is the brick carrier. You stop and everything stops. Businesses, media, and assets, that is a system builder. Every block placed makes a pyramid grow, even when you are not there. And the higher it climbs, the more unstoppable it becomes. So the question isn't how many bricks can I carry? The real question is, what systems can I design that builds the pyramid for me? Because in the end, jobs build walls while systems build pyramids. Side hustles might give you scraps today, but they'll steal your future tomorrow. The only way out of the hamster wheel is to build a main hustle. One that moves you from slow lane to fast lane. One that scales your impact, and one where you are the driver, not the hitchhiker. And finally, one that is built on systems, not just the hours you put in. Because wealth isn't about working harder. It's about designing your life where money chases you, not the other way around. That is how you stop wasting time, and that's how you actually get free. Share this with someone who is stuck, and don't forget to subscribe. Because every week, I break down the psychology, strategies, and principles behind wealth and business success. I am Zan, the psychologist of money, and I'll see you in the next one.